to an asset finance solution to suit your business needs. It's really never been easier.
With 2 of the 8 events in the ABSA Off-Road Championship now completed, it's evident that consistency will be the name of the game for those production vehicle and special vehicle crews wishing to walk away with some of the most coveted titles in motorsport. The production vehicle category has predictably been dominated by the proudly South African Nissan Off-Road team, with reigning champions Hannes Grobler and Richard Leeks sitting at the top of the championship log with 77 points, after finishing second in the Nissan Dealer 400 and winning the Nissan Sugarbelt 400. Former champions Janelle de Villiers and Francois Jordan won in the Western Cape, but had to contend with third place in KwaZulu-Natal and trail their teammates by 8 points. The Nissan pair has a 7-point advantage over Neil Woolrich and Ken Scholthammer in the Team Ford Racing Ranger. The biggest threat to the Class T contenders comes from Hugo and Jaap de Bruin, who have notched up 2 Class E wins and a 4th and 7th overall. The Castrol Toyota crew are 4th in the overall championship and trail the leaders by only 16 points, while 5th place husband and wife pair, Niels and Zelda van der Walt, have been a model of consistency in the Nissan hardbody, and 2 runner-up finishes this season makes them strong contenders for the Class E title. Reigning Class E champions Mark Cronje and Chris Birkin are 6th overall and the Class D leaders, despite a troublesome run on the Nissan Sugarbelt 400, where they only managed to finish 9th overall and 3rd in Class D in the Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i. Duncan Voss and Hedy de Steege in the proudly South African Nissan hardbody are 7th overall and 4th in Class T, and with only 42 points they are faced with a stiff challenge if they wish to make up the 35-point deficit on the leaders. KwaZulu-Natal-based crew Manfred Schroeder and Jack Peckham in the Team Ford Racing Ranger are 2nd in Class D and 8th overall. Henry Zamatin and Bodo Schwegler are 3rd in Class D in the PlayStation Mastercraft Pajero and are tied in 9th place overall with Team Ford Racing's development team of Bufumzi Ruguluza and Kulili Fakalisa. The Pietermaritzburg-based businessmen have put in 2 solid performances in the diesel-powered Ford Ranger, and 2 podium finishes sees them 3rd in Class E. In the Special Vehicle Championship, Mark Corbett and Gavin Kelsey in the Century Property Development's BAT have a 27-point lead over their closest challengers, after finishing 2nd overall on the Nissan Dealer 400 and winning the Nissan Sugarbelt 400. Audrey Roots and Dion de Kock in the Global DAD WPP are 2nd overall and the Class B leaders after strong performances in the first 2 rounds of the championship, and have 8 points in hand over Nissan Dealer 400 winners Atang Magaghaneni and the late Mike Stangl. Marcus Taylor is 3rd in the overall championship and 2nd in Class B, while his Nissan Dealer 400 co-driver Carl van der Merwe and his Nissan Sugarbelt 400 co-driver Mark de Chalane are way down the co-driver points log. Clint Gibson and Mike Brown led the Nissan Sugarbelt 400 for much of the race, but in the end had to settle for 2nd place in the Presidium Financial Services BAT. Gibson is 5th overall in the Drivers' Championship and Brown 4th in the Co-Drivers' Championship, with the pair 3rd in Class A. A fine 3rd overall in the Class B win on the Nissan Sugarbelt 400 sees Gary Campbell in the Mighty Mag joint 5th with Gibson in the overall Drivers' Championship and 3rd in Class B. Glenn Clarkson and Matthew Liddick in the Zarko had a good start to the season, but were classified as non-finishers in KwaZulu-Natal and are 7th and 6th respectively in the Drivers' and Co-Drivers' Championship. Only 3 points separate the next 3 crews, with Johan van Jaarsveld and Marlene Lindeque 8th and 6th in the Class B ACECO. Father and son Bez and Etienne Bezuidenhout from the Western Cape 9th and 8th in the Class B Adenco Sandmaster. And Nick Harper and Andrew Chalupsky 10th and 7th in the Class A Audi V8 powered BAT. The third round of the ABSA Off-Road Championship, the Toyota 1000 Desert Race, takes place in Botswana from June the 11th to the 13th. And good results will be crucial for some of the more fancied teams who have failed to finish in the first two events. Dominated by 12 drivers and co-drivers who currently participate in the championship, with some like Hannes Grobler recording their first victories in the 1980s. The list reads like a who's who of South African off-road racing, and not surprisingly, the majority are in their late 40s, with some even in their 50s. Between them, they have won the event 17 times. Topping the rankings is co-driver Richard Leek, with 6 victories dating as far back as 1984, when he and Paddy Driver won in a Mitsubishi. Leek followed up his debut win with victories in 1989, 1992 and 1993, but had to wait 9 years to claim his next win when he and Hannes Grobler romped to victory in 2002 and 2003. Arpi Renica, who has retired from off-road competition, rates as the all-time top-ranked driver on the Toyota 1000 Desert Race, with 6 wins to his credit, of which 4 were with co-driver Robin Houghton, who is second in the rankings. Houghton first tasted victory in 1995, then again in 1997, 1998 and 1999, each time in a Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser. The likelihood of Houghton improving his position is rather slim, as he's playing mentor to rookie Gavin Cronje in the Class E Castrol Toyota Hilux this season. Two drivers, Hannes Grobler and Neil Woolbridge, share third spot. Grobler first won in 1986 in a Nissan Safari with co-driver Pete Swanepoel, who will be clerk of the course in this year's Toyota 1000 Desert Race, and then had to wait 16 years before picking up another win. He and Richard Leek scored back-to-back victories in 2002 and 2003 in the Nissan hardbody. Neil Woolbridge has won in 3 different vehicles. In 1996, he and Paul Vermaak won in the locally developed Nissan Sani. Then in 2000, he and co-driver Ken Scholthammer won in the Mitsubishi Pajero. And in 2001, in a Ford Ranger. Grobler and Leek and Woolbridge and Scholthammer have what it takes to win in Botswana, and it'll be interesting to see which of these crews improve their ranking. 7 drivers and co-drivers each have 1 victory under their belts. Richard Schilling won in 1990 when he and Fred Levesque took the overall win in the Chenoweth. Schilling and stand-in co-driver Rob Walk, who won the event in 1994, will be in action in the Class S Plastotech Raceco and stand an outside chance of victory if some of the more fancied Class A crews fall by the wayside. Arch rival Bux Carolyn won as a co-driver in 1995 when he and brother Richard powered the lubrication equipment Raceco to victory in the special vehicle category. Carolyn has joined the ranks of the Kopanong Hotel Super Team and will be campaigning a Class A Raceco BMW for the rest of the season. In 2004, Nissan Sugarbelt 400 special vehicle category winner Mark Corbett won the 2000 Toyota 1000 Desert Race in a Century Property Developments Jimco that he shared with Jean Moore, and is hoping that he and Gavin Kelsey can extend their special vehicle championship lead by winning in Botswana. The latest additions to the Order of Merit are John Weir-Smith and Jeff Minnett, who stormed from behind to win the special vehicle category in the O'Hagan's Kopanong Hotel Super Team Jimco in 2003. Only time and 1,000 kilometres of some of the toughest conditions in the ABSA Off-Road Championship will tell whether those drivers and co-drivers that dominate the order of merit will be able to improve their ranking by winning yet again, or whether new winners in the production and special vehicle categories will join the ranks.